Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Welcome to the course of Art of Leadership and Motivation, HRM 760, and today is lecture number 28, and I'm your facilitator, Professor Dr. Muhammad Majid Mahmood. Today we will talk about the second part of corporate social responsibility and ethics. Now, first let us talk about the ethical principles of different organizations, and the first one is no discrimination should be done on the basis of caste, color, and religion. Now, this is really very important that there should be no biasness. Normally ये देखा गया organizations में कि caste basis पे, color basis पे और particularly religion basis के ऊपर discrimination की जाती है. So this is one of the most important principles that there should be no discrimination. Whatever the religion of the employee is, whatever the caste or whatever the color of the person is. So there should be no discrimination at all. And if there is any discrimination based on these factors or any other factor, then it means that this is called unethical practice. So organizations which take care of their employees and they have no discrimination against their employees and they treat all employees equally, they are called good organizations, and we also call them ethical organizations, or we also call them that such organizations have adopted ethical practices. The other principle is the policies should be fair and transparent. Now this is really very important कि किसी भी organization के जो rules हैं, उसकी जो policies हैं, वो fair और transparent होनी चाहिए. Now fair and transparent से क्या मुराद है? Fair means कि justice होनी चाहिए, merit basis पे फैसले होने चाहिए, और ट्रांसपेरेंसी होनी चाहिए कि तमाम जो डिसीजन मेकिंग प्रोसेस है और जो डिसीजंस हैं वो सबके नोटिस में होने चाहिए, सबकी नॉलेज में, सबके इल्म में होने चाहिए. नाउ जब हम ट्रांसपेरेंसी लेके आते हैं, जब हम फेयरनेस लेके आते हैं अपनी पॉलिसीज में, ऑफ कोर्स द रिजल्ट इज कि एम्प्लॉइज आर मच सेटिस्फाइड, एंड दिस इज रियली मोस्ट इम्पॉर्टेंट एथिकल प्रैक्टिस. क्योंकि अक्सर ये देखा गया कि सम ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस जो हैं उनके अंदर देयर आर अनफेयर प्रैक्टिसेस और देयर इज नो ट्रांसपेरेंसी और लैक ऑफ ट्रांसपेरेंसी. हमेशा ये होता है कि जब आपकी लैक ऑफ ट्रांसपेरेंसी होती है तो इन मोस्ट केसेस इट लीड्स टुवर्ड्स इलीगल डिसीजंस, अनएथिकल प्रैक्टिसेस, क्योंकि आप वही चीज़ छुपाने की कोशिश करते हैं, आप वही चीज़ खुफिया करके काम करने की कोशिश करते हैं जहां पे आपको ये होता है कि अगर ये लोगों को पता चल गई तो ये ना हो कि उसके ऊपर कोई क्वेश्चन रेज करे. सो जब भी कोई डिसीजन मेकिंग होती है ऑर्गेनाइजेशन के अंदर तो वो उसके अंदर ट्रांसपेरेंसी को इंश्योर किया जाए. एंड देन ओपन मेरिट. ओपन मेरिट को आप कैसे ऑब्जर्व कर सकते हैं? फॉर एग्जाम्पल, when you are hiring people in your organization, so this is really very important that कि आप जब उनके लिए एक सिलेक्शन क्राइटेरिया बनाते हैं, रिक्रूटमेंट सिलेक्शन क्राइटेरिया, that should be based only on open merit basis. Like for example, आप जॉब एनालिसिस करते हैं, जॉब एनालिसिस के बाद आप जॉब डिस्क्रिप्शन बनाते हैं और जॉब डिस्क्रिप्शन के बाद आप जॉब स्पेसिफिकेशंस बनाते हैं. नाउ जॉब एनालिसिस मींस कि यू डू द मार्केट सर्वे, यू सी कि आप जैसी जो सिमिलर ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस हैं इन पाकिस्तान एंड अब्रॉड, उनकी क्या प्रैक्टिसेस हैं और जो पर्सन्स आप हायर करना चाह रहे हैं, जिस डेजिग्नेशन पे आप पर्सन्स को हायर करना चाह रहे हैं, वो जो डेजिग्नेशंस हैं, वो जो पोजीशंस हैं, आपकी जो की रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटीज़ हैं वो क्या होती हैं दुनिया में और पाकिस्तान में. सो यू डू दैट जॉब एनालिसिस. सर्वे के सिमिलर जॉब का एक एनालिसिस करते हैं, एक सर्वे आप करते हैं. आफ्टर जॉब एनालिसिस आप उसमें जॉब डिस्क्रिप्शन और जॉब स्पेसिफिकेशंस डिफाइन करते हैं. आप ये करते हैं कि की रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटीज क्या होंगी. फॉर एग्जाम्पल यू वांट टू हायर HR मैनेजर, तो ह्यूमन रिसोर्स मैनेजर जो आपने हायर करना है उसकी की रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटीज क्या होंगी. उसकी जो की रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटीज होंगी उनको आप 1 2 3 4 5 करके राइट डाउन करते हैं. देन उनकी रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटीज को सामने रखकर यू डेवलप द जॉब एलिजिबिलिटी क्राइटेरिया कि इनकी रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटीज को परफॉर्म करने के लिए आपको किस किस्म का पर्सन चाहिए, उसके पास क्या क्वालिफिकेशन होनी चाहिए, अगर एक्सपीरियंस रिक्वायर्ड है तो किस किस्म का एक्सपीरियंस होना चाहिए, इसी तरह किस तरह की क्वालिफिकेशन होनी चाहिए. फॉर एग्जाम्पल हमने बात की कि ह्यूमन रिसोर्स मैनेजर. नाउ इन मोस्ट केसेस व्हेन यू आर हायरिंग ह्यूमन रिसोर्स मैनेजर्स, so eligibility criteria normally includes, like for example, a person having a master's degree in business administration with specialization of human resource management or any other relevant degree in the relevant discipline. On the other side, in case of experience requirement, you need to see that the job applicants, do they have, like you ensure that with the help of your eligibility criteria that कि जो job applicants होंगे वो वही लोग अप्लाई करें जिनके पास human resource functions को perform करने का experience है. And then of course जो आजकल एक normal practice है कि organizations they are interested to hire those people who have like strong communication skills. Now strong communication skills means that they have strong verbal and non-verbal communication skills. Now how do we differentiate verbal and non-verbal communication skills? Now verbal communication skills means that your oral and written communication, that is called verbal communication skill. और जो आपकी body language है, for example, your eye contact, your facial expressions, your gestures, your postures, the way you sit or stand, your dress, that is called non-verbal communication or body language. So organizations, they require persons having strong communication skills, both verbal and non-verbal. And then further, like organizations, they demand problem solving skills. And then they also, like at present जो ज़्यादातर इस वक्त जो trend जा रहा है, that is that employers, they are more interested that the job applicant, they should have strong critical thinking skills. Now critical thinking skills are becoming very popular because critical thinking skills are required not only to solve your present problems, but you become more proactive और प्रॉब्लम को अक्कर होने से पहले ही आप उसको फोरकास्ट करके उसको आप अक्कर होने से, उसको हैपन होने से आप रोक लेते हैं. So critical thinking skills, problem solving skills, analytical skills, strong communication skills, and of course your qualification and experience. Now these are the skills generally required in different organizations. Now when we talk about the policies should be fair and transparent, it means that the eligibility criteria, for example in this case of recruitment and selection, that should be based on open merit system, and there should be a transparency in decision making कि जिस person को आप hire कर रहे हैं तो उसका decision making process जो है वो transparent होना चाहिए ताकि जो लोग सिलेक्ट नहीं हो सके, दे शुड क्लियरली नो कि जो लोग सिलेक्ट हुए हैं उनका क्या कंपेटिटिव एडवांटेज है और जो लोग सिलेक्ट नहीं हुए उनके अंदर क्या कमी थी। इसी तरह से व्हेन वी टॉक अबाउट द पॉलिसीज ऑफ प्रमोशन इन आवर ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस, लाइक फॉर एग्जांपल हमारे यहाँ डिफरेंट पॉलिसीज होती हैं कि लाइक फॉर एग्जांपल number of years are important, then of course your performance evaluation report is important. So promotion के लिए certain policies are there in different organizations. तो उन तमाम जो promotion के लिए policies हैं वो भी fair और transparent होनी चाहिए. Like for example personal liking और disliking नहीं होनी चाहिए. Like for example for promotion first thing is like whether you are eligible or not. So all persons who become eligible, it is the major responsibility of the organization कि उनको आगे लेके आए, उनका मेरिट बेसिस पे उनका इंटरव्यू हो, उनका टेस्ट हो, उनकी सिलेक्शन हो और इस तमाम प्रोसेस को ट्रांसपेरेंट रखा जाए, and that is another very important ethical principle. The next one is called proper provision of safety should be provided by the company to the employees. Now organizations के अंदर अगर safety measures ली गई हैं for the safety of employees, for the safety of all other equipment, that is called ethical practice. But if there are no safety measures undertaken for the employees and for the safety of equipment, it means that the organization is involved in unethical practices. So अक्सर ये देखा गया, for example factories में देखा गया कि workers are moving and they are working with machines and they are working in high risk area and they are not wearing helmets. Now जो ethical code of conduct है उसमें clear लिखा हुआ है कि जो वर्कर्स होंगे, जो फैक्ट्री वर्कर्स हैं, जो रिस्क एरिया में काम करते हैं, all of them must wear the safety helmets. But it is a general observation that कि safety measures are not taken properly. In some cases, yes, good organizations who are following good ethical principles of they're in the organization, they follow the safety principles and they are called highly ethical organizations, so they ensure the safety of employees. But in like we see in some areas that it is not being like taken as a measure there, and there are many things going on, and that is of course environment becomes unsafe. There should be honesty, loyalty and integrity in the employees. Now on the other side, first 3 bullets में हमने बात की ऑर्गेनाइजेशन के ऊपर कि उनको क्या करना चाहिए. Now we talk about the employees. एम्प्लॉइज को ऑनेस्ट होना चाहिए, उनको अपनी ऑर्गेनाइजेशन के साथ लॉयल वफादार होना चाहिए और उनकी एक इंटेग्रिटी होनी चाहिए कि लाइक दे शुड बी ट्रस्टवर्दी. नाउ ऑनेस्टी इज द बेस्ट पॉलिसी. नाउ एट द वर्क प्लेस एम्प्लॉइज मस्ट बी ऑनेस्ट. Like for example, there are some employees in few cases who steal from others. ऑफिस की चीज़ों को घर ले जाना, अपने कोलीग्स की चीज़ों को वहाँ से चोरी कर लेना. So in few cases there are some observations like this. On the other side, like ऑफिस में जो आपको काम करने के लिए इक्विपमेंट दिया गया है, ऑफिस में फॉर एग्जांपल स्टेशनरी है, बॉल पॉइंट्स हैं, आपको कंप्यूटर दिया गया है, आपको फैसिलिटीज़ दी गई हैं, प्रिंटर फैसिलिटी है, कंप्यूटर फैसिलिटी है, इंटरनेट फैसिलिटी है. नाउ इन पब्लिक सेक्टर की जब हम बात करते हैं तो क्या तमाम फैसिलिटीज़ जो आपको अवेलेबल हैं आप 100% ऑनेस्टी के साथ सिर्फ ऑफिस के लिए उन फैसिलिटीज को आप यूज करें या फिर उससे आप अपना पर्सनल काम भी ले रहे हैं। लाइक फॉर एग्जांपल ऑफिस प्रिंटर्स हैं, तो क्या आप सिर्फ ऑफिस के काम के जो कागज प्रिंट आउट्स हैं, जो जरूरी प्रिंट आउट्स हैं, वो आप ले रहे हैं, या आप अपने जाती काम भी उस प्रिंटर से प्रिंट आउट्स ले रहे हैं। इसी तरह ऑफिस का टेलीफोन है, तो क्या टेलीफोन को आप ऑफिशियल पर्पस के लिए यूज करें या उसके ऊपर आप पर्सनल कॉल्स ले रहे हैं और कर रहे हैं। इसी तरह से ऑफिस की स्टेशनरी है और इक्विपमेंट है, तो क्या आप उसको अपने जाती इस्तेमाल में तो नहीं लेके आ रहे। तो ऑनेस्टी मीन्स दैट यू नीड टू बी ऑनेस्ट इन ऑल द मैटर्स इन द ऑर्गेनाइजेशन। सो it is the major responsibility of the employee to be honest, and if the employee is not honest, it means that employee is involved in unethical practice. Loyalty, of course, as a Muslim भी जब आप देखते हैं कि आपने अपनी तनख्वाह को हलाल करना है, so for all employees they need to justify their role in the organization, क्योंकि उन्होंने एक एग्रीमेंट किया है ऑर्गेनाइजेशन के साथ। उन्होंने एग्रीमेंट ये किया है कि ओके, आई विल गिव यू माय सर्विसेज एंड इन रिटर्न ऑफ योर माय सर्विसेज, सो एज ए रिवॉर्ड ऑफ माय सर्विसेज, जो कि मैं यहाँ पे अपना टाइम दूंगा, अपनी सर्विसेज दूंगा, उस रिटर्न में मुझे सैलरी क्या मिलेगी। आपने एक रिवॉर्ड सिस्टम तय कर लिया। उसके बाद इट इज योर बेसिक रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी कि जो आपका कॉन्ट्रैक्ट है, जॉब एग्रीमेंट है, उसके मुताबिक यू परफॉर्म योर सर्विसेज। बट समटाइम व्हाट हैपेंस दैट पीपल आर लाइक नॉट लॉयल विद द ऑर्गेनाइजेशन। तो जब लॉयल्टी में कमी होगी या लॉयल्टी नहीं होगी, तो आप मुझे खुद बताएं, तो एम्प्लॉय की परफॉर्मेंस का लेवल क्या होगा। एंड देन इंटेग्रिटी, कि एम्प्लॉय शुड बी ट्रस्टवर्दी। और ट्रस्टवर्दी कैसे होगा कि जो बात आप कहते हैं और जो बात आप करते हैं, ये दोनों बातें सेम होनी चाहिए। सो पीपल जो सोचते हो रहे हैं, करते हो रहे हैं, बोलते हो रहे हैं, सो बहुत ही कम वक्त में लोगों को उनका पता चल जाता है एंड दे लूज देयर इंटेग्रिटी। उनकी बड़ी एक बैड रिप्यूट क्रिएट होती है ऑर्गेनाइजेशन में। सो पीपल, एम्प्लॉइज शुड हैव स्ट्रॉन्ग पॉजिटिव इंटेग्रिटी, एंड दिस इज ओनली पॉसिबल इफ यू कीप ऑन परफॉर्मिंग योर best level in the organization. So whenever we talk about ethical principles, of course it is the major responsibility of the employees to be as honest as possible, and they should be loyal with the organization. Here we talk about the Pygmalion effect. Like for example, there are some employees who are more loyal with their bosses as compared to their organizations. So loyalty must be with the organization. Yes, boss is very important, leader is very important, but your loyalty should be with the organization. So under the loyalty of under the umbrella of organization, so you are loyal with the organization, and of course you should be loyal with your boss and your leader. But of course organizational loyalty carries more weightage. The company's resources should not be utilized by the employees for their personal usage. Of course, जब हम बात करते हैं कंपनी रिसोर्सेज की, there are 4 type of resources: human resource, financial resource, physical resource, and information resource. Now these are the 4 type of resources which organizations, whether in public sector or private sector, anywhere in the world, they use and they require. Now what happens that when employees start using these resources for their personal usage, that is highly unethical. Because organizational resources are only meant for the organization. It is not meant for personal usage. So now you tell me, you think that, like your observation, what your observation says. You can ask your parents, you can ask your elders who are working in offices, whether in public or private sector, or if you are working yourself. तो मुझे आप ये बताएं कि क्या ऑर्गेनाइजेशन के तमाम रिसोर्सेज को वाकई ऑर्गेनाइजेशन के लिए यूज किया जा रहा है या कहीं ना कहीं पर्सनल यूजेज भी हो रहा है. लाइक ऑफिस व्हीकल्स को आप ले लें. देयर आर मेनी ऑफिशियल व्हीकल्स, पब्लिक सेक्टर और प्राइवेट सेक्टर के भी जो व्हीकल्स हैं, तो you see those vehicles on picnic spots, you see those vehicles on different places which normally has no official visit or purpose. Now what does it mean? When the families and the kids and other friends, they're just moving from one place to the other in those official vehicles. So that is a highly unethical practice. So it also means that there is a misuse of authority. कि आपने अपने एम्प्लॉइज को रिसोर्सेज यूज करने की अथॉरिटी दी है, but they are misusing the authority. So it also means that they are dishonest. They are not loyal and they have a bad integrity. So their integrity damages. So using resources, official resources only for the official purpose is ethical. But if you use the official resources for your personal usage, that is unethical. So overall जब हम इस पूरी स्लाइड को देखते हैं, तो one thing that comes in our mind that we should respect each other. We should not waste resources of our organization, and we should be very honest and loyal with our organizations. And once you become loyal and honest with the organization, then of course the result is you become more ethical. And on the other side, it is also the major responsibility of the organization, top management and employer or the owner of the business, to follow the fairness and transparency in decision making. Talking further about the ethical principles in organizations, information about employees' personal lives, health, and work evaluations should be kept confidential. Now this is really very important, because when you hire people in your organization, you ask them for, medical. You ask them to provide all of their documents. So there are many documents they provide, and those documents should be kept confidential in their master file. And sometimes what happens that employees, they tell you something about their personal life. Now that also comes under that privacy rule. So if without the permission of employees, if you tell others about some particular employees, their personal lives, that is unethical. If any employee has any health problem, and if you disclose it, if you tell this to others in the organization, that is again unethical. And work evaluations reports, like for example annual confidential reports or performance evaluation reports, they should be kept confidential in the organization, and the work evaluation reports only should be shown to the concerned employee only. It should not be made public. To neither give nor take any illegal payment, remuneration, gift, donation, or benefits to obtain business or favors. कि ना आपने कोई फेवर किसी भी सूरत में लेनी है, ना आपने कोई गिफ्ट लेना है, ना कोई डोनेशन लेना है, ना कोई भी किसी किस्म का बेनिफिट आपने अपनी जात के लिए नहीं लेना. And if you start taking gifts and benefits from others, it means that you are involved in unethical practices. To comply with all regulations regarding preservation of the environment, कि environment protection के लिए you need to take all possible measures, कि जो भी rules and regulations हैं regarding the protection of environment, आपने उनको comply करना है, आपने उनको obey करना है, and you should never violate any rules and regulations regarding the preservation of environment. Continuing further our discussion on ethical principles, rights and equitable treatment of shareholders. Now shareholders कौन होते हैं? Shareholders are those who are the investors who have invested their money in your business, in your organization. उन्होंने पैसा लगाया हुआ. So you need to treat all of the shareholders equally. But what happens that there are majority shareholders and there are minority shareholders. Like for example कि कुछ shareholders ऐसे हैं जिनका organization के अंदर share ज़्यादा है और कुछ ऐसे shareholders हैं जिनका organization के अंदर share कम है. So अगर आप उन दोनों के दरमियान फ़र्क रखेंगे, जिसका ज़्यादा शेयर है आप उसको ज़्यादा वेटेज देंगे, जिसका कम शेयर है आप उसको कम वेटेज देंगे, so that is the violation of basic rights and equitable treatment. So organizations which are ethical, they treat their shareholders equally irrespective of their number of shares. Interest of stakeholders. Now stakeholders कौन है? It includes your customer, it includes your non-customer, it includes the community where you are serving, it includes anyone who has any concern with your organization. Now there are certain interests of stakeholders. For example, there should be no pollution because of your organization. Like for example, किसी एक इलाके में आपकी organization है और आपकी organization जो है, for example आप steel manufacturers हैं और वहाँ पे जो smoke वहाँ से exit हो रहा है आपकी factory से, वो एक pollution फैला रहा है उस पूरे इलाके में. उस तमाम जो residents हैं उस इलाके के, उनकी हेल्थ को डैमेज कर रहा है, उनको मुख्तलिफ डिजीज़ जो हैं उनको हो रहे हैं, लंग्स के, हार्ट के, उनके मुख्तलिफ, उनको आइस के मुख्तलिफ उनको डिजीज़ हो रहे हैं. So they become the stakeholders. So organizations which are ethical organizations, they take care of the interest of stakeholders. So definitely they will do something कि they will try to manage it कि उनकी ऑर्गेनाइजेशन की वजह से पोल्यूशन में कोई इजाफा ना हो, इन्वायरमेंट जो है उसको प्रोटेक्ट करने के लिए मेजर्स लेते हैं वो। यहाँ पे एक मैं चीज़ जो है ज़रूर आपके साथ शेयर करता चलूँ कि देयर इज़ नॉर्मली अ कॉन्फ्लिक्ट ऑफ इंटरेस्ट बिटवीन द स्टेक होल्डर्स एंड शेयर होल्डर्स। लाइक फॉर एग्जाम्पल, शेयर होल्डर्स जो हैं they are the investors, they put in money, and of course they invest money because they want to make money. So they are here to make profit. Now in order to fulfill the interest of stakeholders, पैसा कहाँ से आएगा? पैसा will come, money will come from the profit of shareholders. It means that कि शेयर होल्डर का प्रॉफिट जो है वो कट होगा, उसका एक पार्ट कट होगा, और जब शेयर होल्डर का प्रॉफिट कट होगा टू सेटिस्फाई द इंटरेस्ट ऑफ स्टेक होल्डर्स, तो शेयर होल्डर्स जो हैं समटाइम व्हाट हैपेंस दैट दे फील बैड अबाउट इट, दे डोंट लाइक इट. सो दिस टाइप ऑफ शेयर होल्डर्स who do not want to cut their profits to protect the interest of stakeholders, they have a short-term view of business. But those shareholders who have the long-term view in their minds, who are more ethical, they always strongly believe that fulfilling the interest of stakeholders is good for business. Because जब आप पोल्यूशन आपकी ऑर्गेनाइजेशन की वजह से नहीं हो रही, when you are taking care of the interest of shareholders, stakeholders, so what happens that कि shareholders when they are taking care of the interest of stakeholders, so you develop a strong repute in the market. People start, they talk good about you. They are happy with you. So once stakeholders are happy with your organization, then what else you need? So when people are happy, so one day they become your customer, and with the passage of time, if you keep on taking care of the interest of stakeholders, no compromise on quality, no compromise on safety measures, there is no, like for example, biasness at workplace. So what happens that in the long run, you capture more customers, and those customers become your loyal customers. Role and responsibilities of the board. Now, organizations, they have a decision-making board. We in HR we talk about the board of directors, BODs. Now, there are certain key roles and responsibilities of the board of the organization. So, जब हम बात करते हैं social responsibility की, it is the key responsibility of the board of director of any organization to ensure that organization follows the basic principles of social responsibility. And if there is any violation, the board may take corrective measures. Integrity and ethical behavior, very important, because organizations, they need to be like having a good ethical behavior practices. If there are unethical practices or unethical behavior going on in the organization, and if the organization loses their integrity in the market, the result is customers, they start leaving the organization. और जैसे कि हमने पिछले लेक्चर में बात की थी कि according to Philip Kotler, who is called the father of marketing, he says that customer is of two types: internal and external customer. And external customer is the buyer and purchaser, but external customer is the employee. So in order to satisfy the external customer, it is really very important that first of all you need to satisfy the internal customer. So when you take care of your internal and external customer, it means that you have an ethical behavior, disclosure and transparency. Now, as per the existing rules and regulations, it is the major responsibility of the organization to have a policy of disclosure and transparency. Now, shareholders and stakeholders, they have complete right to this disclosure and transparency. कि they should know that कि organization में कितना पैसा आया, उन्होंने कितना उसके expenses थे और उन्होंने कितना profit earn किया. Now that disclosure is really very important, and transparency of course. So organizations who follow these principles, they are called highly ethical organizations, and organizations which do not follow these principles, they are called, or those organizations who are not following ethical principles, or these organizations are also called like involved in unethical practices. Now let us talk about certain advantages of ethical behavior, like brand image. Now this is really very important, that organizations, those are involved in ethical practices, their brand value increases. Now brand is in the mind of the customer, and in the mind of the customer, you know, customers, when they see that organization is involved in good practices, good ethical practices, organization is taking care of the stakeholders, organization is not violating any rules and regulations, organization is good for the interest of society. So these organizations, they develop a strong positive image in the mind of the prospective, you know, customers, so they enjoy a good brand image in the market. Greater loyalty. As a result of good ethical behavior, your internal customers and your external customers both become highly loyal with the organization. Like for example, कि जो आपके customers जो, like for example internal customers की हम बात करते हैं कि जो आपके employees हैं, they do not want to leave your organization. They become more loyal because they know that कि इस ऑर्गेनाइजेशन में जिसमें मैं काम कर रहा हूं कि they are good in ethical practices. They never violate rules, they protect the environment, they take care of their employees, they take decisions on merit basis. There is proper disclosure and transparency in the organization. So that develops and strengthens their loyalty with the organization. On the other side, your purchaser, buyer, consumers, they also become loyal because there is no compromise on quality. And you have a strong brand image in the market, so the customer loyalty, the external customer loyalty also increases. Greater commitment of employees. Now this is really very important, that employees, they have a high commitment. Now, why high commitment? Because they are loyal. They know that there is no unfair practice in the organization, and all the decisions are made on merit basis. Employees become more creative. And for creativity, what is required? For creativity, you need a peace of mind. And peace of mind के लिए क्या ज़रूरी है कि organization is strictly following the ethical principles. Like for example, अगर कोई unfairness नहीं होगी ऑफिस में आपके साथ, आपके इन टाइम promotions होंगी, तमाम फैसले merit पे होंगे, तमाम practices fair होंगी, So what happens that you have a peace of mind here, and once you have a peace of mind, you become more creative, and creativity is required for innovation. So जब हम at present देखते हैं there is survival of the fittest, और जो organization market में as a leader चाहती हैं कि उनका एक रोल हो, they focus more on creativity and innovation. So if you want to remain in the market and if you want to become a market leader, your organizational employees must be creative and innovative, and that is only possible if you have good ethical practices in the organization. Now the question arises, why the organizations should have a code of ethics? And the number one objective is, and the number one reason is, to define acceptable behavior. Now this is really very important that the organizations should focus on defining the acceptable behavior in the organization. If any organization that lacks the acceptable behavior of employees ethics in the organization, तो उसका result क्या होगा? Like for example, employees कोई भी कपड़े पहन के आ जाएं, कोई नाइट सूट पहन के आ रहा है, कोई अपना एक एक्सरसाइज के जो ड्रेस है वो पहन के आ रहा है, कोई अपना पार्टी ड्रेस पहन के आ रही है. So जब हम ड्रेस कोड की बात करते हैं तो देयर शुड बी like some acceptable behavior with respect to dress as well. On the other side, when we talk about the basic manners, so that is also a requirement that you should have positive, friendly manners in the organization. So whenever we talk about the acceptable behavior, it means that organization is involved in ethical principles, ethical practices. Another reason why to have a code of ethics is called to promote high standards of practice. Of course, you want to grow. So your organization want to grow. So if you really want to grow, what you need to do is you need to follow the benchmarks. You need to follow the higher standards of the market. And that is only possible if you are highly ethical. To provide a benchmark for self-evaluation. Now self-evaluation is really very important. Organizations who focus more on self-evaluation, there is a bright chance that they set a benchmark in the market. They set the highest standards in the market. But organizations who do not focus on their self-improvement, organizations who do not focus on their self-evaluation, organizations who do not make training and development as a regular part of the organization. So what happens that if you keep on doing same things every day, you will keep on getting same results every time. So for improvement, for ongoing improvement, you need to focus on self-improvement. Otherwise, you will not be able to even survive in the market. And finally, why to have a code of ethics in the organization? To establish a framework for professional behavior and responsibilities. कि प्रोफेशनल बिहेवियर और आपकी की रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटीज उसके फ्रेमवर्क के लिए you need a code of ethics. Now talking about the code of ethics, there is a transition going on in the world. Like for example, from compliance it is moving towards having a strong integrity. From enforcement we are moving towards inspiration. From punishment organizations are moving towards motivation, directive. Organizations are more focused now on educational, and secretive. Organizations are moving towards open. Now, as a overall जब हम इस slide को देखते हैं, तो it means that we are moving towards developing wonderful leaders in our organization. We are trying our best to develop, to design a highly supportive environment in the organization. Because when you focus on integrity, inspiration, motivation, educational and openness in your organization, all of these are highly ethical standards. And when once organizations are doing and following these highly ethical standards, it is not easy to beat these organizations in the market. They become market leaders. So it means that instead of focusing on the symptoms, we need to focus on the root causes of the problem. Like, for example, if there is a culture of command and control in the organization, or if there is a culture of giving punishment to your employees, so what happens that there is lack of motivation, there is lack of creativity, there is lack of innovation, there is lack of interest of employees in the official work. So, जब हम बात करते हैं ऑर्गेनाइजेशन की परफॉर्मेंस की, इंडिविजुअल की परफॉर्मेंस की, ग्रुप परफॉर्मेंस की, लीडर्स रोल इज रियली वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. So with the help of ideal leaders, there is a transition going on in the code of ethics all over the world, including Pakistan. Now, are ethics and business compatible? Now, this question is really very important. Let us discuss this area in detail. Talking about are ethics and business compatible? In an extreme, business and ethics may seem incompatible. Earning profits may also be unethical. In Islamic finance, earning interest is unethical. Possession itself may be unethical in extreme sense. Lots of businesses may need violence of some degree. For example, medical research. So, where do we draw the line between business and morality? If the approach is subjective, then ethics lose their meaning, as everyone defines ethics to suit one's convenience. So it means that there are certain standards of ethics. ये नहीं है कि what you like is ethical and what you don't like is unethical. If you allow this thing in your organization, for instance, so what will happen that everybody will have his or her own meaning of ethics. Now, talking further about ethics and society, in fact, ethics serves society. Societies are built on support. So all societies, whether those of humans or non-humans, need mutual support, patience and care. So overall जब हम देखते हैं कि किसी भी सोसाइटी की बेहतरी के लिए ethics are required. क्योंकि जितनी ज़्यादा ethical practices होंगी organization में, तो वही लोग जो organization में काम करते हैं, they are part of society. So it has a direct impact on the society. Ethic is long-term policy. All religions, all ethics and morals spring from the basic conflict between short-term and long-term. If we limit ourselves to the short-term, players today, even at the cost of pains tomorrow, sound like a good bargain. For example, आपको एक चीज आज बेनिफिट दे रही है, एक काम आप इस वक्त करना चाह रहे हैं, एंड दिस विल गिव यू बेनिफिट, दिस विल गिव यू प्लेजर, लेकिन आने वाले कल में यही प्लेयर जो है आपके लिए पेन क्रिएट करेगा, आपकी रिप्यूट को डैमेज करेगा, आपकी इंटेग्रिटी को डैमेज करेगा. तो जो लोग शॉर्ट टर्म के ऊपर बिलीव करते हैं, दे आर इन टोटल लॉस. इफ वी टेक लॉन्ग टर्म इनटू अकाउंट, every such player which is not lasting should be avoidable. कि ऐसा कोई भी प्लेयर जो कि लॉन्ग लास्टिंग नहीं है, उसको अवॉइड करना चाहिए. तो हमेशा आप कोई भी काम करने से पहले, चाहे आप अपने घर में हैं, चाहे आप अपने दोस्तों के साथ हैं, और whether you are working in your office or as a student, तो आप देख लें कि लॉन्ग टर्म इसका क्या इंपैक्ट है. और अगर लॉन्ग टर्म इंपैक्ट पॉजिटिव है, सो दैट इज गुड एंड दैट इज एथिकल. लेकिन अगर उसका लॉन्ग टर्म इंपैक्ट जो है वो आपके लिए प्रॉब्लम क्रिएट करेगा, आपकी इंटेग्रिटी को, आपकी रिप्यूट को डैमेज करेगा, आपके कैरेक्टर को डैमेज करेगा, सो दैट इज अनएथिकल. सो कोई भी डिसीजन लेने से पहले, कोई भी काम करने से पहले, whether personal or official, you must look at the long-term view of that act, whatever you are doing. So the question is, long term से क्या मुराद है? Long term is how long? Do we look at our lifetime? क्या हम सिर्फ अपनी जिंदगी तक, कि जब तक मैं जिंदा रहूंगा, आप इसको लॉन्ग टर्म कह रहे हैं? Do we look at the lives of our children? तो या फिर हम अपने फैमिली, अपने बच्चों की जब तक लाइफ है उस वक्त तक के टाइम को हम लॉन्ग टर्म कह रहे हैं? So here I will comment that the real meaning of long term means that ta क़यामत, till the day of judgment. कि आप कोई भी काम करते हैं तो आप उसका इंपैक्ट देख लें कि क़यामत के दिन तक क्या होगा. सो whenever you keep the end in your mind, you can always improve your beginning. तो जो लोग अपने एंड को, जो लोग आखिरत को सामने रख के, जो लोग रोजे क़यामत को सामने रख के एज ए मुस्लिम अपना आज का फैसला करते हैं, अपना आज का काम करते हैं, they are always successful. For example, as a student, when you keep the end in your mind, and what is the end? The end is your learning. So when you focus on learning, you will have more motivation in studies. But if the focus is only passing exam, so it becomes really very difficult to improve your beginning, to improve your studies. So I advise all of you to focus more on the learning aspect, because ये learning ही आपके काम आएगी. So you become a better person. Your personality develops, you develop yourself. So self-development is there, personality development is there. You become a better family member. as a father, as a mother, as a brother, as a sister, as a son, as a daughter. And most important thing is, as a Muslim, you become a better person. So I strongly advise all of you कि आप कोई भी काम करने से पहले उसके एंड को सामने रखें, and when you keep the end in your mind, you can improve your beginning, and that beginning is always ethical. Now talking about long-termism in business. Issues of corporate ethics have taken the form of short-termism versus long-termism. If businesses are focused on long-term stability and growth, they are ethical. Short-term strategies compromise on longer interest. Like for example, आप चाहते हैं कि जल्दी से कस्टमर से फायदा उठाया जाए, तो आपने बहुत ज्यादा एडवर्टाइजिंग की, आपने प्रोडक्ट को सेल भी कर लिया, you earn profit. लेकिन if you compromise on quality, if you do not keep the long term in your mind, so what happens that कि वो कस्टमर जिसने आपकी प्रोडक्ट लिया, क्या वो दोबारा आपके पास आएगा? In most cases, no. So it means that short-term strategies in most cases, they compromise on long-term interests. Warren Buffett has stressed on long-term strategies. McKinsey survey shows that companies are focused on short-term strategies due to market pressures. कि मार्केट में मुख्तलिफ प्रेशर्स की वजह से कंपनीज जो हैं वो शॉर्ट टर्म स्ट्रेटजीज समटाइम अडॉप्ट कर लेती हैं, विच इज अनएथिकल प्रैक्टिस. Now talking about the ethical theories, the first one is called teleological, the other is called deontological, and the third ethical theory is called virtue ethics. Okay, the first major factor or point of discussion here is no act is wrong or right in itself, only in terms of its consequences. This is what teleological ethical theory says. Deontological theory says that acts are wrong or right irrespective of their consequences. And virtue ethics says that acts are wrong or right depending on what the morally good person would do. So now you see that these three ethical theories have different point of view. Teleological focuses on the consequences. Deontological does not focus on the consequences of your act. And virtue ethics focuses on the morality of a person. Do the best thing, do the right thing, be the most honest person. And finally, do what produces the better outcome. The right thing may not produce the best outcome. Being good is a matter of character. Now these three theories, teleological, deontological and virtue ethics, these three ethical theories have opposite different point of views. Why ethical problems occur in business? Personal gains and selfish interests are there. Competitive pressures on profits. Business goals versus personal values and cross-cultural contradiction. So these are the typical issues of ethics in business. Bribery and kickbacks, corporate crime, for example, price fixing, employee issues and product issues, for example, patent and copyright violation, product defects. Now, according to the Berkshire Code of Ethics, Warren Buffett's rule of thumb for ethical conduct. I want employees to ask themselves when they are in doubt about whether a particular conduct is ethical or not, whether they are willing that their act appear the next day on the front page of local paper to be read by their spouses, children and friends. Now let me give you an example of Coca-Cola here. Make every drop count. This is what Coca-Cola says. Mission of Coca-Cola is to refresh the world in body, mind and spirit, to inspire moments of optimism through our brands and our action, to create value and make a difference everywhere we engage. These are the major values of Coca-Cola: leadership, passion, integrity, accountability, collaboration, innovation, quality. Company profile of Coca-Cola: world's largest liquid non-alcoholic refreshment producer. Its headquarters in Georgia, Atlanta, United States of America. Coca-Cola is a powerful brand. Interbrands 2011 ranked Coca-Cola the #1 brand in the world and estimated its brand value at $150 billion. In 1964, Coca-Cola established in Pakistan. Talking about the corporate social responsibility of Coca-Cola. Coca-Cola and its employees. Coca-Cola's top priority for the employees are health and safety, training and development, respect and rights protection. Talking about the code of ethics of Coca-Cola, employees must avoid conflicts of interest, safeguard the company non-public information, never attempt to accept bribe, fairly deal with customers and suppliers, protect the company asset, must report violations. Let's look at the role of Coca-Cola in protection of environment. Establish objectives and targets, work with local communities, use cyclable packaging, comply with local environmental laws. For community, Coca-Cola is doing many initiatives, promoting education, providing education to youth in underdeveloped areas of China, improving their infrastructure and libraries. They do like provide these, for garbage purposes at different places. They are creating healthy environment by promoting supports, encouraging more active lifestyles, and then physical and nutrition education programs. Talking about the environmental performance, aspire to environment excellence, focus on environmental efforts on 3 areas: water use, packaging, and energy use and climate protection. Now talking about Coca-Cola in Colombia, more than 70 years in business, employs more than 2,000 Colombians, 5,000 retailers are there. And Coca-Cola provides following employees benefits in Colombia: emergency cell phones they provide to their employees, transportation services, secure housing, additional security for union leaders, 24-hour hotlines. In conclusion, I would say that those who can see the deepest into the past can also see farthest into the future. Now, this is the major responsibility of leaders in the organization, that they should have a deeper thinking. And people who have a deeper thinking, people who are critical thinkers, leaders and followers, So it is their major responsibility to have a deeper thinking. So people who have this characteristic, they are more able to see the farthest into the future. Thank you very much all of you. Inshallah, see you all in the next lecture. Khuda Hafiz.